These are papal slippers. They belonged to Pope Leo XIII. It begins with a tantalizingly plain container. A woman named Karen presents a vintage suitcase, and inside, wrapped in tissue paper, are not one, but three potential artifacts of insane potential significance. A pair of velvet slippers, a cap, and silk stockings, all said to have belonged to Pope Leo XIII. The story is rather simple. Inherited from her aunt, a nun who kept them as a treasured relic. Rick Harrison, a man who has seen nearly everything, is visibly impressed. The air in the shop shifts because this could be history. Friends, yeah, you got the Pope's shoes, I'm telling you. Yeah. I mean, does she tell you how she got them or anything like that? She just said it's a box full of Pope stuff. It's there. There's some writing on the front of this box. It's hard to read. Rick is in awe, but awe quickly gives way to reality. The items are magnificent, but in the porn business, a good story is not enough. The first seed of doubt is the provenance. The evidence is a handwritten note on the box dated 1937 detailing the item's journey from an Italian priest. It's a compelling narrative, but as a legal document, it carries no weight. Rick understands the history. Leo XIII's progressive papacy, his embrace of science, but knows that historical importance alone doesn't authenticate an object. The gap between artifact and asset remains wide. What do you want to do with this stuff? Well, I would like to sell them. Well, we can stand here and talk all day about these slippers. We don't know a damn thing. Let's call somebody. Yeah. So, let me go make a phone call. Like I said, rarely am I speechless, but you are this time. Let's go. Okay. The seller is running on pure faith at this point. Faith in a story that lacks the ironclad proof the market demands. The old man cuts through the reverence and says that they don't know a damn thing. They are holding items that could be priceless or merely well-made novelties. And the difference hangs on a thread of hearsay. Rick thinks for a bit and makes the only responsible move. He admits he is out of his depth and calls for his expert, a man who deals in facts, not faith. So check this out. That was supposedly owned by the Pope, Leo XIII. The Pope's shoes, the Pope's hat, Pope's all right. His socks. This is interesting. Leo XIII. He served as Pope from 1878 to 1903. Was very influential. Enter museum administrator Mark Hall Patton, and the negotiation shifts from price to authenticity. Mark begins his examination and the initial signs are promising. He confirms the slipper's construction of the velvet uppers, hand-stitched gold threading, and fine leather soles is entirely consistent with the period and the style of papal footwear. Hope builds each confirmed detail adds a layer of credibility. And for a moment, it seems Karen's family heirloom might just be the real thing. The construction appears absolutely correct. They had a leather soled. The uppers would be velvet like this. Oh, this is good. It's a satin interior. It's handmade. It's gold threading on it. All of which is correct. Mark delivers a fascinating history lesson and crushing blow. He explains that the cap or zucchetto is made of weighted silk, a late 19th century technique where metallic salts were added to give the fabric a richer feel. The unintended consequence, the salts slowly corroded the fibers, causing the fabric to literally shatter over time. His final verdict on the collection is that he can confirm the items are of the right time and style, but he cannot say with certainty they belong to the Pope. His professional assessment: a 75% yes. In the world of high-stakes collectibles, anything less than 100% is effectively a no. This is exactly what I was afraid of. This is one of the coolest things to walk in my shop in a while, but there's just no way to prove they're real. And the thing is, I really do believe her story. What did you want for him? To be honest, I don't know. A 75% chance is a great story for a museum, but it's an impossible gamble for a pawn shop. Rick knows he cannot sell an item with maybe attached to the price tag. He must guarantee his merchandise. And here, a guarantee is impossible. Moral of the story: even when you believe the story, you can't buy the story. You have to buy the proof. Well, got something here. It's a wee bit heavy. Thought maybe you might shed some light on what that is right there. It's been to museums. It's been to paleontologists. No one seems to know what it is. Every so often, an object arrives at the gold and silver that feels less like a transaction and more like a test. A woman named Teresa presents a hefty 40-pound stone vaguely shaped like a giant petrified discus. Its origins, she explains, are a profound mystery. The rock has allegedly baffled museums and paleontologists alike. Then she mentions the ultimate possibility. It might be E.T. Rick can't resist a smirk. In a city built on long shots, this might be the longest one yet. Well, it came from southern Utah. I was just out hiking on my property, kind of in a sandy dirt soil, and there it was. No other rocks like it around it. It's a little different on the bottom, the rock's bottom there. Oh my God. Yeah. Teresa found it while hiking on her property in southern Utah, sitting alone in sandy soil with no other rocks around it. As Rick lifts the object, his professional confidence turns to genuine bewilderment. He turns it over and reveals a strange pattern on its underside. He admits something a porn star rarely does. He has absolutely no idea what it is. For a moment, the man whose business depends on knowing the value of everything is completely stumped by a lump of stone. I've had it X-rayed. It's not magnetic. It's not radioactive or anything. I don't know. I mean, it could be something petrified. Not dinosaur done. Okay. So, you had that checked out. Imagem. Because it does look like that. Perfect. Teresa then adds layers of due diligence. It has been X-rayed, is not magnetic, and has been cleared of being dinosaur poop. She even sent a sample to a specialist known as Meteorite Man, who was equally baffled. Rick is caught up in the potential and begins calculating its value if it were a meteorite. He throws out a staggering figure, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Suddenly, this strange stone is no longer just a curiosity. The dream is officially airborne, flying dangerously close to the sun. I will call the smartest guy I know. And if he doesn't know it, it's extraterrestrial. It still remains the mystery rock. He can at least set us in the right direction. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. With a 6-figure payday hanging in the air, the negotiation is not over money, but over reality itself. And before any cash can be discussed, the object's identity must be settled. Rick makes a call. He's bringing in the smartest guy he knows. And if his expert can't identify it, then it must be from outer space. Extraterrestrial. Leaving. The stakes are now comically high. What the hell is it? Do you mind if I pick it up, take a look at it? Please do. She got it in southern Utah, right? Okay. Oh, now that's interesting. Enter Mark Hall Patton, the shop's resident historian and beard of knowledge, whose verdict is final. After a brief, thoughtful examination, he delivers his judgment. The weirdly shaped rock is a concretion. As he explains the geological process, you can almost hear the dreams of alien artifacts and life-changing payouts hiss out of the room. Rick looks like a man who just learned Santa isn't real. So, it's a rock that looks like a turd. It's a rock that looks like a turd. And there are other rocks out there that actually were turds. This one wasn't. Have you seen one with this shape? Yeah. The final judgment is in. The object is a terrestrial though interesting rock formation. Mark confirms they are common with some growing up to 25 feet in diameter. Defeated, Rick sums up the entire saga and declares it to be a rock that looks like a turd. With no monetary value beyond what a rock collector might pay, there is no deal to be made. Don't forget, in the porn business, sometimes the most extraordinary things are in fact perfectly ordinary. I got a car I think you'll be interested in. What kind of car? 1970 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Oh, that sounds cool. Let's go check it out. You sit right there. You're not allowed to buy cars. Why not? Because you get too excited. Can you pull in my warehouse? A gentleman walks in with an intriguing proposition. A 1970 Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. Rick's ears perk up at the mere mention of the name Rolls-Royce, which is practically the synonym for luxury on wheels. Rick and the old man are absolutely giddy with excitement. One half expects them to begin doing handstands from sheer joy. The old man is sitting at the computer, gets the order to stay right there, and is banned from buying anything else. Oh, the anticipation. You know, when you see a Rolls-Royce, you know it's a Rolls-Royce. This is cool. It's a beautiful car. Yes, it is. Gentlemen, I'd like you to meet W.S. Holland. How's it going? Good to see you. How you doing? I brought W.S. here for the provenance for this car. What provenance? This car was purchased by ABC Television as a gift. The Rolls-Royce reveals itself, shining like a vintage movie star, and the seller introduces a man named W.S. Holland, Johnny Cash drummer, brought for his providence. The car was presented to Cash by ABC Television to celebrate the success of his show in 1969, and W.S. Holland is there to confirm it. Figure you're looking for $350,000. Oh, you could buy a new one for that, but it wouldn't be Johnny Cash's car. I happen to believe that I've got the premier collectible of Johnny Cash in the world. Let me call up a buddy of mine. The seller asks for $350,000. Cue the dramatic music and a close-up as the excitement fades from Rick's face. He complains that that's the price for a new car, pointing out the obvious elephant in the room. The seller, unfazed, insists that it wouldn't be Johnny Cash's car. Is it about the car or the legend? Perhaps the legend is worth it, though. Steve, this is Steve. Good to meet you, Steve. But I'm Steve, too. Maybe Holland. Good to see you. Nice to meet you, sir. And there's no one I trust more when it comes to classic cars than my buddy Steve. This is it. Wow. Johnny Cash's Rolls-Royce, huh? Doesn't get much cooler than that. Yeah, this is nice. To temper the storm, Rick brings in his buddy Steve, a classic car expert. Steven's initial reaction is all fireworks and enthusiasm. At this point, they drive it out to assess its value, and Rick absolutely enjoys it. All of them get swept away by the luxury and the rolls, and it seems as though Rick's final decision is only minutes away. Of course, Johnny Cash owned this car. So, you know, we're talking about kind of a big push there in the hype. But I don't know if you know about this. Last year, another 1970 Rolls-Royce owned by Johnny Cash went through auction. Turns out there is another Johnny Cash Rolls. This fact seems to bring a lot of confusion to the buyers, and for a moment it seems like they might not buy the car. While it drives well for a vintage vehicle, Anastos recalls another 70s Rolls previously owned by Cash that went to auction. The auction price $49,500. This is where expectations meet the cold, hard pavement of reality. Celebrity providence has its limits, sadly. When you said 350, I had my doubts. That's why I called him in here. Someone who was going to purchase this car is going to be a high-end collector. Tell me, what's your bottom dollar on the car? Oh, 'cause if you say 50,000, I'll buy it. Well, no, that's not going to happen. I don't think I could take less than $200,000 for this car. The initial $350,000 ask has been effectively road-rashed. A lower price, $200,000, is still a long way from the reality of the market. The scene ends as it always does. Without a deal, the seller and his associate leave. Too bad that even the ghost of the man in black cannot guarantee a sale. Sometimes a car is just a car, no matter who used to ride in it. Earlier, me and my buddy Sean headed out to Utah to check out a Civil War-era Gatling gun. These guns are the holy grail for collectors. Two hopeful antique enthusiasts, Rick and Sean, embark on a pilgrimage to Utah. Lured by whispers of a Civil War-era Gatling gun, the seller, Joe, introduces them to a gleaming brass behemoth. This 1883 Colt Gatling gun, seemingly untouched by time, instantly captivates. The reveal showcases its magnificent, almost factory mint condition, and Rick's eyes begin to gleam with possibility. It is. So, to your knowledge, has this ever been restored? Is there any replacement parts? All original. All original. As the initial or subsides, the inevitable questions arise. Is it original? Has it been restored? Joe assures them confidently that the gun is perfectly original. The full reveal of the impressive, intact magazine capable of holding 5 rounds supports his claim. Then comes the bombshell. The entire original carriage is still with it. The rarity of such a complete unrested piece truly sets it apart. Personal with one of these. And check it out. This is at the pinnacle of perfection of its kind. The mechanics of the Gatling gun are demonstrated, revealing how its hand-cranked mechanism could unleash a truly terrifying rate of fire up to 750 rounds per minute. Sean is visibly thrilled and excited by the historical significance and engineering marvel of this weapon. But then the moment of truth arrives. Joe adjusts his cowboy hat and drops the price tag. $335,000. Are the potential buyers recalculating or what? This Gatling gun is probably more valuable than most. A lot of people would say, well, Joe justifies his eye-watering price, noting a similar and less perfect Gatling gun recently fetched a high sum at a Texas auction. He firmly states that this isn't a gun for the regular person in the economy. Yet, despite the hefty sum, the hopeful buyers remain undeterred. The ultimate leverage, the chance to actually fire this historical marvel. The shift from admiration to the thrill of potential ownership is clear as both men eagerly volunteer for the chance to test its destructive power. My industry, the Gatling gun is the king. There are so few of them that exist and more so of a rarity, one that is actually in fireable condition. Sean reiterates that in his industry, the Gatling gun is the king. A true rarity, especially one in firing condition. With targets set at 100 yards, the sheer power of the Gatling gun is unleashed. The visual evidence of its destructive force is astounding, confirming the weapon's legendary reputation. The experience is absolutely exhilarating, leaving both men grinning. The Gatling gun has got to be $335,000. Are you open to offers on that, or you just not going to budge? With the adrenaline still pumping, the conversation returns to the price. Sean asks the crucial question, how much does the seller want? Joe reiterates his $335,000 asking price, emphasizing its status as a piece of history. Rick counters with a bold $200,000 offer. When that's deemed too low, he edges up to $220,000, shrewdly pointing out the substantial commission an auction house would take. Despite the close figures and genuine interest, Joe ultimately decides to hold on to his ultimate gun, leaving the buyers to ponder what might have been. How's it going? Good. How about you? Oh, pretty good. What do we got here? It's a Catholic relic. It's our Elizabeth Ann Seton. She was the first American-born person to be canonized by the Catholic Church. And I certificate of authenticity. I think it's in Italian. A man named Brendan walks into the gold and silver pawn shop with a small wooden box. And inside is a silver Rio Query containing what he claims is a second-ass relic of Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton, the first American-born citizen to be canonized. He explains the different classes of relics, identifying this one as a piece of her vestments. The offering is accompanied by a certificate of authenticity, which is crucial for proving its provenance. However, the certificate is written in Latin, a language neither can decipher. Rick is immediately intrigued. Old religious artifacts can be extremely valuable, but this one is certainly unique. Do you have any idea what the certificate says? Or, most relic certificates, it just gives a description of who the saint was when the relic was created. Just got a feel from the church. You know, it just it's.